The opinions expressed are those of the program host and guest and are not those of WSTU. WSTU does not endorse products that may be mentioned. Any reproduction or retransmission of this broadcast is strictly prohibited without written consent of WSTU. The phone lines are open. Call in with your questions and comments at 220-9788. That's 220-WSTU. It's time for Stewart Laser Talk with your host, Dr. Tred J. Rizacker.
I'm 5'10" and 242 pounds.
I always say this is the biggest I'm ever going to be, and I said that like 20 pounds ago.
A third of Americans are obese, another third is overweight.
Obesity is the biggest threat to the health, welfare, and future of this country.
I've always been overweight.
I've got diabetes.
Sleep apnea, heart disease.
Everything's hurting now.
It's a lot easier to lose weight than it is to keep weight off.
This is probably going to be the first generation of children who are going to have a shorter life expectancy than their parents.
18% of our children right now are obese.
It's not only health, it's about survival and well-being of the United States as a nation.
You don't crave broccoli, and our generation has grown up craving a Big Mac.
I'm going to think that there's something better for me.
Unless we're able to control this epidemic, we're going to have an abundance of chronic disease.
All of us have to be part of the solution to reduce obesity.
The weight of the nation is out of control, but we can fix that.
If we don't now take this as a really urgent national priority, we are all going to pay a really serious price.
Obesity will crush the United States in oblivion.
Good morning, Stuart, Florida. My name is Dr. Tred Rizacker, and I am a chiropractor. I'm the owner and a happy client at my own Slim Body Laser Spa. I was once a fat, hopeless weight loss doctor who struggled with losing weight, finally found a solution for my own weight loss, and I was actually able to reverse my type 2 diabetes. It worked so well for me that I brought it into my business, and I call it the Slim Body Laser Spa, Dr. Tred's Slim Body Laser Spa of Stuart. I've been open now for 11 years practicing laser-assisted weight loss, laser body sculpting, and laser spot fat reduction. I include a full nutritional program, detoxification, and whole body vibration. And this combination is able to handle many, many symptoms, body fat, lethargy, emotional problems, because when we look better and we get rid of that extra body fat and we eat better foods and we detoxify, imagine that our bodies feel better. We feel better as people. We feel better. We have hope. And I've never really struggled with weight until I was well into my late 40s, early 50s. So I didn't know what it was like to be burdened with a big belly or bad food habits. And then it became quite obvious that I was burdened with a big belly and bad food habits. And when I put on that extra weight and I decided to get it off, it was really difficult until I found my FDA cleared low-level laser. So my office is called the Slim Body Laser Spa, and we're open for free consultations if you'd like to give us a call. We're located in Stuart on East Ocean Boulevard. You can go online to my Slim Body Laser Spa website and hit the contact page and state that you'd like to find out more about the Slim Body, or you can call us on the phone, 772-223-5885, or you just put into your little cell phone search, Siri or your Apple phone, Slim Body Laser Spa, Dr. Tred Slim Body Laser Spa. It'll come up with my phone number, my address, anything you need to get in touch with us. Getting in touch with a business is not difficult today. If you're having a problem with that, then something's wrong. It's really easy to find us. And we have openings. I think I have 3 consults today. So we might have to put you before or after some of them, but we're open all week. Wednesday, Monday through Friday, 8 in the morning till 6 o'clock. We don't take lunches. You can come in during lunchtime, come in closer to 6 if you need to. The consultation will take about a half an hour. You're given a sheet of paper to fill out, name, address, a little bit about what you'd like to accomplish with the body sculpting. And then you will be brought into a very comfortable consultation area, private, and you will watch a 6-minute DVD on how our laser works, the manufacturer's process of how the laser works to get rid of fat and what you can expect. And then, of course, you'll meet with me personally, and I'll do a history and see where you're at, find out what your expectations are, ask what you understand about the process. Anything you don't know, I'll explain it to you. And what we'll do is we'll look at some before and after pictures on other people. I want you to show me the area that you want to reduce so I can find some pictures that are appropriate for you and what you're wanting to create. And then if we'll bring you into the laser room, I'll show you the machine. You can touch it, feel it. I'll turn it on. You can see how it doesn't create any heat and doesn't create any pain. It's not a mystery. It's just science. And if everything is good and you want to move forward, then I'll sit down with you and I'll go over the pricing. And if it's something that you're able to do, we're going to move forward right there and we can sign you up. And then you can actually, most people can start in the same day. If they come back an hour or two later, if you really want to start ahead of time and you know you're going to do this, then let us know. And after the consult, we'll have that time available for you to begin your procedure right away. Now, what happens in the laser procedure, when you come in and you sign up and you do it, what happens is we will do a set of pictures, digital pictures of the area that you want to reduce. Maybe it's your abdomen, maybe it's your chin, maybe it's your legs, your thighs. At that point, you're then measured. We use a measurement device, which is very exact, so we can repeat those measurements. And then you're going to go into the laser room, private room, and you're going to lay on your back and relax. And the staff will then apply those laser paddles to the area that you wish to reduce, the area that you want to shrink and trim up. The laser stays on for 30 minutes. There is no heat involved. There's no pain. There's no irritation. It doesn't freeze. It's super, super non-invasive, and it's very, very effective. And what happens is when you have that 30 minutes of laser, you can estimate about 1/8 of an inch to 1/2 inch of fat is going to be removed and released into the body's lymphatic system in that 30 minutes. So the best way to describe it is like a cheese knife. You know, they have those knives that take one slice of cheese. It's like a wire. So everywhere that those paddles were applied across your abdomen, you know, if it's on your arms, wherever it is, you can picture about 1/8 of an inch of fat, one slice being released, being removed, just like as if it was a slice of cheese. And then what happens is that fat that's been released by the laser, these are stored energy. This is in the form of fatty acids, glycerol, and water. Now, the water you pee out very quickly within a couple hours or so, but the fatty acid and the glycerol, these are energy waiting to be utilized by you. So the rule is you need to be hungry when you come in. Not starving, not fasting, just be hungry. Have it about 2 to 3 hours since you had your last meal. You come into the spa, you lay on your back, 30 minutes is applied. And then what happens is your body will then consume those calories that the laser released. You will burn it as energy as long as it's not competing with a full stomach or something you just ate. The body will always look to the easiest energy source for energy. And fatty acids, glycerol from your stored fat, when it's presented to the gut, to the visceral system where you burn your calories, your body will utilize that over stored energy. And you'll burn that caloric amount, just like food. It's the secret to losing weight. Make sure you always have a little bit of food in your stomach. Don't ever go too long without eating, or you'll go into fat storage. The way you lose weight is by eating small amounts spread out through the day. So what we're doing with the laser process is when you lay on your back and we apply that for 30 minutes, you haven't had any food for about 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, and your blood sugar is starting to drop a little bit. You know, you're going to need calories to stay alive. At that exact time, we're going to push those calories into your visceral system through something called whole body vibration. So 30 minutes on your back, 10 minutes of whole body vibration. And now vibration plate They're getting pretty popular. I saw them one at the I was at the home show in the Civic Center last week, and they had a vibration plate. The person was selling them to people that walked by, and she really didn't know much about how they worked, which, she had was dressed like a doctor, but really didn't have the understanding, but it's not her fault. But she said she sold 3 of them in Port St. Lucie. And basically it's a machine you stand on that goes up and down. It shakes you side to side. And this helps to improve circulation. It helps to improve lymphatic flow, to get rid of the lymph fluid, the clear fluid, which is your waste system, goes into your lymph nodes, and then it goes out into the urine. And it also helps with balance and muscle strengthening. It improves bone density, and it also improves the circulation to support the increased bone density in muscles. Whole body vibration training was developed by the astronauts to maintain muscle mass, bone density, and cardiovascular health while in a weightless environment. When they're up in the weightless environment, they're losing muscle tone, losing bone density, and their heart is getting weaker because there's no gravity. Whole body vibration is a technique. It's a machine that they can stand on, and then what they do is they pull them down onto it with rubber straps. It attaches them to it, and then when the machine pushes up into their leg when they're standing, it simulates gravity, and they strengthen. So whole body vibration is a plate, a device that you can buy. You can take it home. You can stand on it for 10 minutes a day, and you can have increased muscle strength, increased bone density. You can reverse osteoporosis, which is what weight-bearing exercise does. It also improves cardiovascular strength. It improves your balance. It helps with detoxification of tissues. It helps your feet feel better. 10 minutes a day standing on a whole body vibration plate. Now we have a studio at the Slim Body Spa where we have these vibration plates set up with a nice DVD playing wonderful videos that people love to learn about health and about our world. And they stand there for 10 minutes and do the vibration plate. Some do 20. And that's part of our process. Now, of course, if you're eating bad, you got to clean up your diet. We're going to help you with that. If you're overeating calories and you're putting on extra pounds, it's probably, you need to handle that for this process, for any process to work. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to have weight loss before you come in, because you don't. But you have to be willing to follow some suggestions if you're lost in that respect. A lot of people know what to eat. They know how to eat. They just don't have the will right now to do it. The desire is not there. And oftentimes coming into the spa, paying for the process, allowing the doctor, my staff, to take over, they're much more likely to make those changes. And that has a lot to do with the results that we love and everyone enjoys at the Slim Body Laser Spa. So our normal results after 9 sessions in 3 weeks for an average person is they will lose between 3 to 6 pounds in that 3 weeks and lose anywhere between 3 to 9 to 12 inches of stubborn belly fat, 4 to 5 inches around the thigh circumference, 2 inches on their arm. The chin will be measurably better when you see it from pictures, tightens up the under jowl line. And that's only in 3 weeks. And the only thing we ask is that you eat lean, clean, and green food, eat live food, vegetables, lean proteins, don't skip meals. Start your day out with a protein shake or a couple of scrambled eggs. Protein is your friend in the morning. It helps balance your blood sugar. A snack about 10 o'clock, protein snack, some apple wedges, some vegetables, and then lunch, big salad, some protein on top of the salad, blackened chicken, blackened mahi, a piece of steak. We like protein and fiber. And then your snack before dinner. If you eat late, you need to eat something about 2 or 3. You don't want your blood sugar to go 4 or 5 hours without eating. You need another snack. We recommend a protein shake, protein bars, some cold cuts, maybe a little bit of the leftover salad that you didn't eat at lunch. And then dinner, nice steamed vegetables, nice piece of protein. Can be fish, seafood, clam, shrimp, mahi, steak, pork, chicken, turkey. You just want to trim the fat off. And that's really our plan. No starving, no harsh diets, and no strenuous exercise. We just ask that after the laser, you're a little active. Go to the mall, walk around, don't eat for 2 hours after the laser. That's really most of our plan for the average human being. Now, there are people that have a lot of body fat that they want to get rid of. They're morbidly obese. They know it. The machine tells us so. They need a different program than the person who is average weight and just, has 5 or 10 pounds to lose. The person that has 30 or 40 or 50 pounds, they need a lot more help. And I can help you with that, but that's a different program. It's a little different plan. It just means more nutritional discipline, actually, and more laser visits, because there's just a lot more fat to get rid of. It's not our fault. It's kind of like if you take your little Mini Cooper to the car wash, if they paid by the size of your car, a Mini Cooper would cost a heck of a lot less than a big Ford Excursion, right? So some of you out there are Mini Coopers that have a little bit of flap they want to get rid of, and others are big Ford Excursions and semi trucks. They have a lot of area they need to treat. Okay, so that's what I do at the spa. I've been doing it now for 11 years. Our machine is an FDA cleared device. It's a low level laser. Okay, and this device was actually discovered in the year of 2000, which was 21 years ago. And what they did is they were using a bunch of surgeons located in Colombia, which is where they do a lot of surgery there. They decided that they wanted to get better results following liposuction. So liposuction has always been the gold standard of removing outside fat, the stuff you can squeeze between your fingers. Liposuction does not make an overweight person lose weight. That's not what it does. It cuts off and sucks out the outer subcutaneous fat accumulation. And what they found was that lipo can cause bleeding, it can cause lumps and bumps and bad results in a lot of people sometimes. And what they figured out was if they treated with a red light laser, what we're using today in my spa, a low-level laser, if they pre-treated the area 20, 30 minutes before they did the lipo, that the laser would release a lot of the calories into fluid versus within the cells. So the laser opened up the fat cells, caused the fatty acid to be released in the tissue, and then when they did the suck-in device, they got a much better result. And they had such an incredible result from it that they did a study and they published it, and it was approved by the FDA as a good idea, pre-treatment before liposuction. So it approved the process I'm using. And this is where it all began. Now I'm sitting here at the radio and I'm looking at some electron microscopic pictures of the laser of fat cells before they were treated, a fat cell after 2 minutes of laser treating it, and then after 6 minutes. And what you can see is, and I'll describe this to you, is before they treat it, it looks like grapes in a bunch in a plastic bag. They're perfectly round adipocyte cells. They look like a cluster of grapes. After 2 minutes, it looks like half of the grapes have oozed out the sugar, the water from the grape. And then it shows after 6 minutes, it looks like a bag of cottage cheese. There's no definitive of the cell membranes are gone. Now, we know today that that fluid are calories. That's the fat stored in the fat cell. And whereas the suction device would suck it out in a tube, what they found was if they didn't do the lipo, if they waited a day or two, that some of the fatty acid that the laser released was absorbed and burned as energy by the client, and they got an inch result, meaning an inch reduction immediately after, within a day or two after doing the laser. So, I mean, that, my friends, is the holy grail of body sculpting. Something which can give a result just like liposuction without damaging the tissue, without affecting the person's health or wellness in a very natural, healthy, holistic way. It just has to be repeated every other day. So 600 calories each time you put the laser on somebody, wait a day, they burn that energy, put it on again, releases 400 to 600 calories, wait a day, they burn the energy, do it again, 600 calories released, they burn the energy the next day, and then you can move up to their chin. You can put it under their chin, release some of those fat, 400 to 600 calories, wait a day, do 2 or 3 treatments to the chin. Then you can go back to the inner thighs. And, you know, it releases 400 to 600 calories, wait a day for the body to absorb the fatty acid and continue in your thighs. You can do it again and again and again and again until the fat is gone from that area. You can bring a person's fatty tissue down to the muscular wall in a series of treatments. I mean, we've been doing this now for 11 years. We've had over 6,000 clients come in and do it, and it's really about the laser. Now, the person's ability to burn those calories, to get those calories out of the body, is really where the skills of a chiropractor that understands nutrition, whole body vibration, and detoxification, that's where that is really important. And that's our strong point. That's my strong point. I know about nutrition, and I know about how to ease people into habit changes, how to ease them into eating better, how to ease them into making a commitment that lasts a long time, which is what weight loss and body sculpting require. It does require a commitment, but it sure shouldn't be an end all. I'm going to lay the food law down. Boom, Nazi hate food plan. This is something which is gradually introduced as you see the results from the process, and we're gathering information about your habits of who you are and what you like to eat, and we can make suggestions that are very custom based on a person's, what they bring in with, the tools that they've already have. Maybe there's areas they need a lot of help. Maybe some people don't need any help. But without the laser, getting rid of the fat, opening up those fat cells, we cannot get the same result. It's $300 a session. After 9 sessions, the price drops to about $100 a session. So the first 9 is $2,800. That gets you started. It gets all the nutritional plan. It gets you the 3 to 9 inch, the 3-inch guarantee, 9 to 12 inches on most people. We can normally do on an average size person, their whole abdomen, the front, the sides, lower ab, the pocket that hangs down. We can normally treat that in that 9 sessions. And then you move into what we call alumni, and then the price drops to that $100 a session, approximately. You can purchase packages. We have discounts and deals. And then you can go with it as many times as you want. It becomes a la carte, as we like to say. And you can put it on areas that you didn't want to do in the beginning because you weren't sure. 60% of our clients repeat and come in regularly. Well, 20 to 30% come in regularly. 60% will come in as they need to and utilize alumni pricing. You know why that is? Because some people like to drink alcohol. Can you believe that? They don't want to give up their alcoholic drinks. They love to eat out at the Bonefish Grill when their relatives come to town. When they go to play golf and they go back to the lunch, they come back to the clubhouse. They have a nice burger, or God forbid, a tuna fish sandwich, And what happens is when you're older, in your 50s or 60s or 70s, you can't eat the same amount of food you did when you were in your 30s and 40s. I promise you. You have to cut back on calories and you have to cut back on alcohol, or you're going to become as big as a house. You're going to have health problems. And we all know that. By incorporating the Slim Body Laser Spa process into your lifestyle, by by getting the fat off to begin with in that first 3 to 4 weeks, and then utilizing the laser to offset those extra calories that you put back on, you get to a nice kind of homeostasis, a nice balance where you're getting some extra alcohol that you normally would have made you fat, or those extra calories that you like, a little extra butter. Maybe you want to have some ribs. You come into the spa, and in a week, you can 2-3 visits, you can get rid of those extra calories by using the laser. Think about that. So, and you wonder why Slim Body's #1 laser slimming center in I'd tell you it's the whole Southeast area. I don't know anybody that's doing what we're doing. I'm in the business. I do lectures. I go to other offices and set them up with this process. There's nobody in Florida, I know that, or even anywhere in the Northeast coast. There's a couple of offices that are over in California that I know of, but that's about it. And who would, you wouldn't think that it would be so hard to find because it works so well. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing there. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take advantage of my my wonderful board guy here, and we're going to take a little 1-minute break. And he can do that because he can snap his fingers and pull out an ad like that. All right. And then I'm going to go over something really important today, something I saw in Texas, and it's about conspiracy theories. It's a little bit about conspiracy theories and what they are and what they mean to you and what they mean to COVID and masking and everything else. So if you're wondering about this masking and this COVID and is it real or is it not, and why they call them conspiracy theories, I'm going to go over that a little bit with science and knowledge so you can get straightened out on what that means. All right. It'll be worth it. So come on back in about a minute.
Now back to Stuart Laser Talk here on WSTU 1450. And back to your host, Dr. Tred J. Risacker.
All right. If you've just tuned in, my name is Dr. Tred Risacker. I am the owner, the doctor, and a client at my Slim Body Laser Spa located right here in Stuart. We are Treasure Coast's #1 laser body sculpting center. Hands down, no one even comes close. You can lose 3 to 9 inches of stubborn belly fat laying on your back listening to music. I did it. It worked amazing. It's newest lipo laser technology. There's no pain. There's no surgery. There's no dangerous injections and no crazy diets and absolutely no meetings to attend. Okay. We're having a Discovery Day special. Now, we always have free consultations, but we're also having a Discovery Day special. And what that means is for $49, you can try one visit. It's really what it means. You'll be given the whole explanation about the process. And it is a 9-session plan to make any kind of lasting results. One visit is not enough to really make any permanent changes, but that one visit allows you to experience what it is you're actually purchasing and how it works. We call it Discovery Day. So make sure you let the girl know, my staff know when you call that you're interested in the Discovery Day 1 visit, and then we'll set you up for that free consultation. Okay. The only thing we ask is you don't eat any food 2 hours before you come in for the consult. For Discovery Day to work, you need to be hungry a little bit. All right. So my phone number is 772-223-5885. The office is called Slim Body Laser Spa. Put it into your search, put it into Google, ask a friend. You should have no problem finding us. All right. Last weekend, I went to Texas, to San Antonio, Texas, for a seminar on chiropractic and health and healing and nutrition. And there was, it was well attended. We had over 100 people there. And Texas is pretty masked up. I mean, they have some pretty strict mask rules about wearing masks everywhere you go. And as we do here too. But what was interesting was they have, the restaurants are open. So what happens is you have to put a mask on when you walk up to the restaurant. When you're waiting to get seated or going to the desk, they will not let you in without a mask. And as soon as you sit down, you can take your mask off because now you're supposed eating. So you have people all around you. Once you get past the front and there's no mask, right? So if you're somebody that has a normal brain, and you think critically about things and you ask questions that are normal and healthy to do, you would have to ask yourself, how is this congruent? If we need a mask, how is it that we can all go in and take off our masks? Do we really need it? Or is this something which is being put upon us for maybe control, maybe fear, to keep you in fear about something? Because remember, when somebody's in fear, you can manipulate their thoughts and their ideas. Because when you're scared, your other brain power, your ability to reason, your ability to take account of what's happening in a rational way. When you're scared, all that goes out the window. And then people know that. Governments know that. Authoritarian regimes know that. The military knows that. You put someone in fear and they're not thinking clearly anymore because it's really about avoiding pain. So, you see all these masks coming in. You go past that front girl, sit down at the table, and off come the mask. Very, very bizarre. And so there was a couple other things I thought was very interesting was the airports were completely masked. When you got to the airport, there was people standing there making sure that you are covering your nose. And if you have like a gaiter on, you have to double up on it, make it 2 thickness to do that. And you're keeping it on the whole time. You pull it down to breathe. I had it 3 times where people came up to me and it was, I only had it down for less than a minute and a half. For some reason, it either slipped or I wasn't aware of it. And they came right back and they were very friendly, cover your nose. So on the airplane flying back and forth, which was, 3 hours at the airport, it was masked the whole time. Now, when I have a mask on, I breathe in hot air. I can feel the hot air. It's not cool. There's no way to really separate it where you're getting any kind of fresh air coming in. So as you breathe, remember your body breath, your body's temperature is 98.7. My resting temperature is 98 degrees. So when you're in a room temperature, which is about 72 degrees, if I turn the temperature up to 99 degrees, that's almost 100 degrees, you would freak out that the room is so hot that you're dying, right? But the breath that comes out of your mouth or out of your nose is in the high 90s. And then what happens is, because that mask doesn't allow it to be dispersed very easily, it heats up. So now that mask in front of your face is being heated by your breath at a temperature that's, well over 90 degrees. And that incubates bacteria, will incubate in that high temperature. That's what bacteria does. The bacteria which make you sick activate at our body temperature. That's why they infect us. Raise the temperature over 106 and those bacteria die. cool it down 70 and 60, and a lot of those bacteria die. So that mask is creating a bacterial film in your teeth, in your mouth. And when you're stuck with it on for that whole time frame, which for me was about 6 hours, I'd never have had to experience that. And I'll tell you, I started getting squirrely. I mean, I was not happy camper. And so I would pull it away from my face to try to breathe, to get some coolness in there. And then I had to put it back on. And, it took me, I was not happy at all. And I'm probably not going to fly again, because to me it was, and then, they're taking it off for snacks. They're taking it off for these things and telling you have to put it on very quickly. Either it works or it doesn't. Either it protects you or it doesn't. I just don't think you can be in this medium with it. And what I'm sharing with you are my feelings, my thoughts. I'm not telling you that everybody has to believe what I'm telling you. I'm not, I'm using what they call scientific reasoning. It's called inductive reasoning. I'm looking at a series of facts. Do I like it? Does it work? Is it being applied correctly? Are the law, I look at all these facts, and then I come up with an answer. It's called inductive reasoning. Now, there's another way that people reason, and that's called deductively. In other words, here's an idea. Masks are absolutely critical for our nation. That's the idea. And then you have to look for things that will prove it. Okay? And that's called deductive reasoning. So, you look at it, and then you have to say, well, is it in the literature? Okay, yes or no? Well, literature, if it's a false premise, how can you come up with the right idea? The next one is everybody doing it like they're selling you to do it? Well, I see that a lot of them aren't. So is that fact? And then what happens is you come up with this, you can deduce whether something is real by looking at the other parts. So people, this is called scientific analysis. This is called the scientific method. This is what science does to prove or disprove a theory. Is they take a supposition, that rain makes you wet, and then they look at all the different things which would prove that it is. And then they talk about it, and then they compare their notes, and then they come up with the truth. Okay. Now here's what's happening. I was at the meeting. A woman came up to me and she says, "What do you think about the vaccination?" I get that a lot. I'm a doctor. I said, "What vaccination?" All the ones they've given you before? No, this COVID vaccination. And I said, "Well, I personally would wait a little longer personally, because I want to see if there's more problems with it, because it was released very soon, very quickly, without a lot of the normal studies, which is, now remember, I'm thinking scientifically here. I'm thinking of, is it good or not? And then I need to see proof. Well, vaccines used to take 7 years to approve. This one came out in 2 months. So to me, that's a problem. Is it really creating immunities and antibodies? They say they don't know that for sure. So there's number 2 problem for me. Are they not, there seems to be a race to the top for everybody to come up with a vaccine, all these different manufacturers, yet are they communicating with each other? Or is one person getting the same thing? They got the Moderna, they got this Pfizer one, so there's another fact that I'm saying, I don't know if I believe in that. It seems to me that they should all get together, since it's our health. So that's called scientific analysis. So the woman said, so I said, I'd wait a little longer if you're not sick and you're not at high risk. And if you are, fix the risk problems. If you're overweight and you're not exercising and you're eating devitalized food and you're a mark, you're setting yourself up to get an infection, any infection, whether it's a cold, whether it's the flu, whether it's a bacterial cut in your nail, which overwhelms your foot, all of these things. And then COVID is just one of many pathogens out there. It's not about COVID. It's about health and wellness. And So when she asked about it, I had to ask her, she was overweight. She was, she's not taking any vitamins or supplements, which we know are important. And I said, I can't tell you yes or no about taking a vaccine. I said, but you need to handle these issues, or you might need to think about taking a vaccine because there's something you're weak. You're in a weakened state. They call it comorbidities. And medicine should be individually applied to people. It should take into account what you're bringing to the table before you take any drug, whether it's heart pressure medication, whether it's diabetic medication, whether it's a shot for shingles or lupus or whatever they're going to treat you with. Every single person has a different genetic makeup. Their overall health and wellness is at a higher level than some. Their ability to follow suggestions and their ability to get fresh air is different. Their attitude and their positiveness has a lot to do with it. So all of those factors need to be taken in, whether you should take a vaccine or if you should take a medical treatment. It's individualized, but the present structure we have within the pharmacological industrial complex, this medical pharmacological complex, is one pill, one person. One symptom, one drug. That one drug should be for everybody, the whole group. Yet we know 2%, 3%, 4% will have a horrible reaction to the same drug and some people, it doesn't hurt them. Yet they're not really ruling that out for you. So she said something to me. She goes, well, I think that this is all created by this world government. There's this new world order. And she goes, and I don't want to, I think it's a conspiracy. And I'm like, well, why would you, what does conspiracy mean? So, and I said, you're not a conspiracy theorist. Okay. You're somebody who is asking questions about something that you believe might be true or not be true. In other words, should I take the vaccination? Should I wear masks? And you're looking at the different data, coming up with an opinion whether or not you should or shouldn't. That is not a conspiracy theorist, people. That is intelligent person asking questions about something. And what they're trying to do with labeling you as a vaccine denier or a mask denier or a climate change denier is they are trying to stop you from asking questions and talking about it among your peers, talking to somebody like me or other doctors. They're trying to shut down the ability to communicate with each other about these types of ideas. And the way they do it is they call you a conspiracy theorist. And that's really my message here. Please do not shut down and do not be fearful to ask questions. Right now we have given a lot of our communication over to the internet and to our cell phones and to these programs where we share our stories, we share our pictures, we share our events of our life. And at the same time, we want to share questions about things like vaccinations and masks and climate. Yet that's when the censor comes in, and they will not allow that to happen back and forth. And when you try to push back against it saying, I'm just asking a question, they label you as a conspiracy theorist. And many a great people were once labeled conspiracy theorists. Galileo, when he observed the planet and he observed the moons and he observed the solar system, and he said, I don't think that the solar system rotates around the earth. I think we go around the sun. Well, let me tell you, he was not received very well. The church, dogma, the authority at the time said that it says in the Bible that we are the center of the universe and that everything rotates around the earth. And you can see it. Just look, you can see it go around. And Galileo, who figured out with mathematical equations, he realized that we were traveling around the sun. And he published a paper stating that. Well, he was pulled into the courts. He was found to be, if he didn't admit that he had made a mistake, he would have been tried and hung for heresy, which is, against the church. It was very, very bad back then. And he decided to live, and he retracted what he really believed to be true, what he knew to be true. It took 300 years after Galileo's death before the people finally accepted that we rotate around the sun. He was a conspiracy theorist. That's what they told him. And he's like, no, it's factual. I know this to be true. Every single idea that goes against the mainstream belief of people, against governments and churches and the media and their interests, a lot of people in the beginning are always going to be crushed as being subversive and being against the norm. And the way they do it today is they call you a conspiracy. I watched the same videos you watched during our wonderful election in 2020. There were some irregularities that I saw. They looked very dishonest to me, parts of it, but let's look at it. Let's bring them in. Let's find those people, bring them into a court of law, put them under oath, and ask them, was that you on that video I saw? Why were you pulling those boxes from under the table? That would be the scientific method, but they wouldn't even allow it to go to that. And you wonder why people are upset. So stick to the scientific method. If you're giving an idea or a principle, something that you're telling you to believe, put it onto the scientific method and look for facts or fantasy as to whether or not it's true with the best of your ability. If you need to, ask your friends, call them. Right now we can't do it on the internet. They're canceling that. They're censoring that. But you can still do it on the radio. Here I am. I'm on the radio. I'm giving you some knowledge about how to siphon through all of these I call them, these lockdown principles. One state is applied, another state it's not. One country seems to be free, another one's locked down. It's really very bizarre, and you have to use your common sense about it. Okay. I hope that gave you something to talk about. My name is Dr. Rissacker. I'm a chiropractor. I understand, how hard it is to be outside of the system. I'm a chiropractor. I've been outside the medical germ theory system my whole life. This is nothing new for us. Yet, I always believe in a person's body's ability to heal itself if they're given the right nutrients, the right amount of sleep, the right amount of exercise. If they keep their body clean on the inside and the outside, your chances of needing medicine become much, much less. That is my message here. I am not against medicine. I am not against vaccinations. And I would wear a mask if somebody walked in my office and I thought they had TB. I'd put a mask on. Trust me, I'm not stupid. But I also know that if I eat the right foods, if I get the right amount of exercise, if I maintain a good, healthy, normal muscle to fat ratio, 20% fat, 80% muscle tone. I know if I take my nutrients and my supplements, because we're not getting it from our foods anymore. If I drink plenty of fresh water, if I exercise, if I clean my body both inside and outside, I am going to need their pills and drugs much less. And basically, I'd like to put them out of business. And that's my goal. I'm here to put the medical and pharmaceutical industry out of business, including the plastic surgeons that are sucking people's fat because they don't have any other option. And I'm not against them. They can find another business model, but that's what we're doing. It's disruptive what we're doing. And it's truthful. And that's why so many people come in and sign up for Slim Body Laser Spa every day. All right. So my process is low-level laser, FDA-cleared device. You put it on 3 times a week for 3 weeks. You lay on your back. You listen to music. You lose inches. I've been doing this since 2009. I've been practicing chiropractic since 1988. I have a brother and I have two sisters who all practice here in Stewart. My brother is Dr. Todd Rissacker at a Better Life Chiropractic Center. My other sister practices with him, Dr. Caroline Rissacker, and she's at a Better Life Chiropractic Center. And they do not do the fat laser like me. They do the pain laser. They have a low-level pain laser, which can help reduce inflammation, help increase healing. And guess what? It disrupts opiate use. In other words, if a laser can fix your pain, you don't need to take opiates. And if you can live without pain and get healthy, you might not need surgery. So yes, we are disrupting the medical standard with lasers and a chiropractic adjustment, right? If a chiropractor can help you with your back pain and your sciatica and your horrible headaches with an adjustment, you're not going to need to take pills and drugs and eventually have surgery, hopefully. Less likely. This is a gift. It has a positive influence. It's not crisis care, people. Crisis care is 911. Thank God we have them. Martin Memorial North. That's where I go. If I hit my head. However, if I woke up with day in and day out with a sour stomach and I didn't know why, I would go to a chiropractor or call Dr. Tread and get a referral. All right, so we're going to be wrapping it up here. My phone number is 772-223-5885. Again, I have a $49 discovery day for you. If you'd like to call up and schedule a consult, tell them that you'd like to do the discovery day. Just don't eat 2 hours before you come in. And I will be here next week, hopefully, God willing, and the creek don't rise. I love you a lot. Thank you so much.